That was terrible.
That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction
Mondays.
Monday.
All right, Rich, you said they were your most impressive win from the NFL Sunday. So here's what I'm going to do for you. The Raiders are the best team in the AFC West.
No, I'm not going to say an Overreaction Monday. That's an Overreaction Monday.
What?
They're supremely talented, and they're rallying around a very emotional, I guess, center of this team now, which is that locker room and their brotherhood and them playing for one another and playing for their chances not to be torn asunder by something that had nothing to do with them, out of their control. That's a very powerful thing. But the Los Angeles Chargers have already beaten them. The Los Angeles Chargers, despite getting boat raced yesterday, might grow from that. Let's not forget, you can always grow from just regular old losses too. And I am not counting out the Kansas City Chiefs by a long shot. You are overlooking the two-time defending AFC champs at your own peril. So I'll say that's an overreaction. I thought you were going to go with the Raiders are a better team without John Gruden. I thought that was going to be your overreaction
that's
topic.
That's low-hanging fruit, Rich.
What else you got over there,
That's
Chris?
low-hanging fruit. All right, this team we've talked about. I thought this was maybe the most impressive win considering their opponent. They've won 5 in a row. Lamar Jackson again looks like an MVP. The Ravens are the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's an overreaction as well. The Bills are the best team in the AFC, I think, right now. And I would love to see that as an AFC championship game in the worst way. Lamar versus Josh Allen, the two best quarterbacks from their draft class, going at it with them being 1-2 potentially in an MVP vote. And I know I'm forgetting the 12s out in the NFC. I just won't go there yet. Now, I am concerned about their defense, which definitely tightened against the LA Chargers.
Pretty good.
And their stout offense. I'm just not going to sit here and say Ravens are absolutely the best and then sit here and watch this thing not age well in about 6 hours with Monday Night Football and the Bills going tonight.
I was trying to catch you on that.
No, I'm a little too savvy. My head's a little bit on an Overreaction Monday swivel over here. I'm going to reserve judgment and say that's an overreaction for the moment.
All right, next, I was trying to think of a different way to kind of go about discussing this team because they are the lone unbeaten left in the National Football League. Very impressive win by Arizona yesterday without their leading pass rusher, without their head coach and quarterbacks coach because they were on the COVID list. How about this? The Cardinals will stay unbeaten longer than the Lions stay winless.
All right, now you're going to make me look at schedules here.
I'm going to make you look at schedules.
Well, I know that Arizona plays the Texans next, and that's
true.
That is a W. Arizona plays the Texans, and then they have the Packers on a Thursday night. How great is that game going to be to kick off Halloween weekend, Week 8? And then they're at San Francisco. They could lose one of those easily. I mean, absolutely. They're at Seattle, so that's the next 5. Who does Detroit? This is great stuff. Okay, Detroit. Now let me look at Detroit. They play
hard under Man Campbell. They play hard.
Detroit's at the Rams. Do you think? Oh my gosh, this is quite a weekend where DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt host the Texans and Matthew Stafford hosts the Lions. That ain't happening. The Lions are home against the Eagles.
That's the game that I'm kind of looking at. The Eagles aren't doing much for me right now.
At the Steelers, at the Browns. I will say that that's an overreaction. I'll say that the Lions.
The Lions get one?
Yeah, I think the Lions. Or the Cardinals get the loss. One or the other, right? So. Okay.
All right, you like that one? Okay, like that. Like I said, thinking of a different way to talk about Arizona. They're really impressive.
Well, no, they are, and I'll tell you what. If they get through the next 5 weeks, they're going to be 7-0. And if they get through an early window home date with the Packers, and then their trips to San Francisco and Seattle wrapped around a home game against Carolina, if they get through that and head to their bye at 11-0,
baby,
that would be really impressive, like shockingly impressive. but they've got the horses to do it, man.
Good.
Because don't forget, Zach Ertz is coming to town too.
Good point.
Man.
Good point. All right. Week 7 started in London, and it was really entertaining. London win, Rich. This saves Urban from the chopping block for the entire year.
Yeah, I think it does. I think that's not overreaction. I mean, week 6 started in London. Yes, I do believe that his first win, because the only way that, I think it absolutely does. That's what I said, is that they wanted to get to Sunday, that week where it was all going haywire. They wanted to get to Sunday, and they lost to Tennessee. And the last thing they were going to do is axe their coach before going to London. By the way, I was also wrong. That game was not in Wembley. It was in Tottenham. And so, but the only way that they could get out, I mean, I'll go a little legal here. The only way they could get out of their contract with Urban if they thought he was no longer tenable as coach and not pay him is through a morals clause or something. That, what are you going to say, that you're, 3 weeks later, our morals became so strong that we had to actually, invoke this clause now, not first blush when our morals were first offended by it. Like, you know what I mean? You can't fire him for cause weeks later. So it's done. Like, he's sticking around. And like I said, I was stunned that Urban made that choice. And I was stunned that Urban needed to be told at some point that he's derelict for not going back on a flight. I mean, I was kind of stunned by all this. I honestly thought all of this stuff would work out based on his CEO mentality and bringing it to the NFL. And maybe this is something these last 2 weeks he needed to go through it to kind of get it straight in his head. I have no idea how it's going to all work out, but a win's a win. And I think that is not an overreaction. You're going to see him there for the rest of the season, for sure.
All right, Rich, you just mentioned this team is one of your most disappointing of the 2021 season so far. Specifically, Daniel Jones is at the bottom. He's only thrown 4 touchdowns this year. He's at the bottom of the league in passer rating for a guy that's played all 6 games. After this season, Rich, it's time for the Giants to move on.
Oh, man. He's so talented, though, don't you think? He can run, he can throw, he's neck up, he's got his head screwed on straight.
Guy's a turnover
what
machine.
Is happening?
Right?
I mean, just protect him. And then you get Saquon for him, and he's hardly played with him. He can't stay healthy. Then you go and spend money to Kenny Golladay, and he can't stay healthy. Then you draft him Kadarius Toney, and he can't stay healthy. But when he's healthy, he's breaking ankles. It's like, whoa. Like, Giants haven't seen that sort of electric play since Odell showed up into town. Moving on from Daniel Jones, it'd be just, it's tough for me to say that right now. I'll call it an overreaction right now. Let's see if, like, heaven forbid, Saquon comes back second half of the season and Toney comes back second half of the season.
Golladay,
and Golladay
Ingram,
comes
back.
right.
I get it, but
And then they start protecting him and winging him around. But that's the whole point. It's like, why are you going to get wideouts and draft wideouts and draft, the way that you hit that line, man. Hit it.
if they're 4-13, is like Joe Judge out,
Maybe
Jones is gone.
I can't imagine he's not, because
kaboom, right?
John Mara said that this is a judgment season.
Yeah.
For all of them, for everybody.
All right, last one. I'm not sure if you've noticed this, Rich, but did you take notice of Cam Newton's YouTube video yesterday?
Status?
Cam Newton is vaccinated, says he still wants to play football.
Yeah.
There's some teams that need quarterbacks. Cam Newton will be a starting for a team at some point this year.
I wouldn't be surprised. Did you hear Pete Carroll said today that the Seahawks have been in contact with him?
I think that's a move they should make.
And so, he didn't put any more meat on that bones informationally, but I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, I don't know. Did he take the shot all of a sudden or gradually, or he did his research, or I don't know what's going on, or he was just like, hey, I want to play for you. Like, are you vaccinated? I don't know. But Pete's saying they kicked the tires on him, and why not? I think that's a good call right there, Chris.
I think so, too.
All right. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.